Well, I'm telling you, Andy, we sound like a broken record. Every Monday morning, we're like old man Winters here. And as of December 12th, old man Winter has arrived again. It's been snowing. I'm looking at the maps last night and this morning, Andy, and trying to get, the weather maps and stuff. The whole country's blue and dark blue. And except for Florida, they're like yellow and orange, and it's like they're a finger inverted to the rest of the country, who is like enveloped into this huge winter storm that's slamming the United States. We've got one front moving in from the west, and that has unloaded literally tons and tons of snow in the Sierras. Here it started yesterday, cold, snowy. Like I said, Andy, we're a broken record. Every Monday morning we're like snow, and we've been saying that since, July? Red Wings jersey. Why not? The Detroit Red Wings are a North American hockey team. They're part of the original six. We have, I believe, 11 cups. We have 4 in my lifetime, 97, 98, 2002, 2008. So we're called Hockey Town. Steve Yzerman is our general manager. Stevie Y was our captain for 9 years. He was a first-round pick. When he retired, he went to the Florida Panthers and built a powerhouse down there. But he kept the home in Detroit. And once he learned how to do the GM gig, and his contract in Tampa Bay Lightning, contract expired. What did I do? I called him the Tampa Bay Maple Leafs. Once he retired, went to Tampa Bay, built a powerhouse. Once his contract expired, he came back to Detroit and took the general manager's job. One of the reasons that he said that is that the pressure was already, he knew it was going to be big, and it is big. Steve's back. We're good again. It's nice having the Red Wings be in the conversation in the National Hockey League. Any of the original 6, I'm okay with. The expansions kind of grinded me a little bit, but it is what it is. So let's get on with what are we doing? A little recap, and I see over there. Okay. If you don't know, Brittney Griner was released last week. Wednesday, Andy, what was it? Wednesday, Thursday? Somewhere around there. We'll get into all of but first of all, let's Brittney Griner, okay? I'm happy that she was released. I don't like it when any of our citizens are locked up in anywhere over drugs, over pot. That's what she had. For those of you that don't know, they make e-cartridges for marijuana now, and it's just like with the people that are smoking the e-cartridges and whatever, and it's the same thing. It's just whatever. She had, I believe, Andy, what was it, 1/3 of a cartridge left? 0.2 grams or so, yeah. It just, not very much left. Did she break the, technically, did she break the law? You know, yeah, she did. She did break the law. But, again, I don't like people, you know, I don't like it when they're locked up for drugs. Why was she in Russia? Because she plays in the WNBA here in America. And most of the stars in the WNBA play in Europe and Russia and China in the off-season because, frankly, Andy, it pays better and a lot better. So that's why she was there. There was a lot of gals there when she was arrested. So it's money. If she wasn't famous, would she garner the same attention and all of the same hoopla as it did? I don't think so. I don't think if Pipewrench was arrested in Russia, it'd probably be for all my Putin remarks. You know, it's like, yeah, there he is, get him, lock him up, put him in a gulag. Gulags? Okay. If she wasn't famous, I don't think it would have garnered any of the attention. Now, a lot of people don't like Brittney Griner because she, like other athletes, not only her, but other athletes, protest certain causes by not standing for the national anthem. Well, for me, it's a First Amendment. Protests are legal. If you could say that, you know, you don't mind people picketing wherever in science, but they got to stand for the national anthem, is poppycock. Protest is protest, whether you like it or not. Whether it ruffles your feathers because she didn't stand for the national anthem doesn't mean she's unpatriotic. It means almost just the opposite. She's not standing because the First Amendment gives us that right to protest and speak out. And by not standing, they're not saying a word. What? There's no rule. I looked. Andy, yep. Andy confirmed. We looked. There's no rule that says if the national anthem's playing, you got to stand. Is it policy for some leagues and businesses and whatever? Yeah, of course it is. Is the WNBA, the NFL one of them? No. So, I, for one, am glad she was released. I don't believe that if it was a regular citizen, she'd have got the same treatment. I said that. They were in Russia for money. That's because the United States doesn't pay them. Andy, what's the figures there? Do they make rubles? Yen? Okie dokie. So, now the whole trade also has people upset because they said, you know, we traded Brittney for Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage played, his character was based on Victor Bout, the Lord of War. That's who he traded for. So, he was arrested in 2008 in a sting selling arms in Thailand. Not a good dude. Not a good dude at all. Movie was okay. Nicolas Cage was okay. But Victor, not good. I don't like it for a couple of reasons. I don't like the trade with Victor Bout because, first of all, I believe it sends a message to other countries that if you have an American hostage, it's a good bargaining tool now. I remember Andy Reagan, Bush, Clinton, all of them. We don't negotiate with terrorists. Is Russia a terrorist? They're a terrorist state. What? No traveling to Russia. I just call them a terrorist state. Yeah, they'd be resting my ass like a piper. We got them. So we've sent that message that it's okay. You know, I'll give you a phone call over brunch. We're over brunch. I have a terrorist I want to trade. Second problem I have with it is that how long has he been released, Andy? 5 days? We're probably freaking fighting them right now in the Ukraine. That's probably the first thing they did. The guy had a fleet of jetliners, fighters. He had guns. What was the line in Lords of War? Nicolas Cage said something to the effect that there's, 12 million people in America, and every one in 12 own guns, and how can we make the other 11 have guns? So that's the guy that we traded Brittney for. It's in the news. Everybody has an opinion. I'm sure everybody's like, Pipewrench, what do you think about Brittney? I'm okay. I'm not okay. That's my verdict on it. I like it, but I don't like it. I can do that. I can like and not like. And that's my case there. I'm sure, Andy, that we're going to fight. We're going to be fighting Victor. Is Victor Bout right now? The Lord of War is bombing the Ukraine as we speak. Why no Paul Whelan? Why no Paul Whelan? I have a theory. I have an opinion. First of all, Paul Whelan is serving 16 years. I believe he was arrested in 2016, 18, 6. Okay. He is a Canadian-born former U.S. Marine with United States, British, Irish, and Canadian citizenship. 4 different citizenship. His name is Bond. James Bond. He is a Marine Corps veteran. He served from 2003 to January of 2008. In January of 2008, he was arrested for larceny, a dereliction of duty, false official statements, using another service member's social security card, and writing bad checks. He was busted to an E4, given a bad conduct discharge. Bad. You're bad. You're a bad guy. Now, okay, so he might be a war hero. He might be this, he might be that, he might be a Marine veteran, but the bottom line is there's 4 countries that he's a citizen of. It's not just up to us. It's like, yeah, we need to get the president and get him out of there because it's up to us. No, he's a British citizen. He was born in freaking Canada. Yeah, but he's a veteran. Yeah, with a bad conduct discharge. Okay? Not only that, he was arrested. Okay? He went to Russia. He traveled to Russia all the time. That was part of their argument. It's like, oh, he's a cool dude, man. He was always in Russia. Okay? Yeah. All right. He went, this particular incident, he went to Russia to attend a good friend's wedding. Not only did he not, he didn't attend all the news, what is it, the rehearsals and the dinners and the drinks and the get-togethers and see my friend. No, he was, everybody said, what was it, copiously? What the word, who wrote the copiously absent? He met someone while he was absent. He was arrested in Russia with $80,000 in cash and a flash drive, USB drive, containing a list of all employees at a classified security agency. And the guy that he got it from is the guy that gave him up because they pinched him. Then President Trump, Trump's going nuts, our former president, that Whelan wasn't released. He had a chance twice, 3 times with meetings with Putin in 2018 and 19 and never mentioned it once. But he's mad as hell, but he won't talk to the family. So, Whelan, I think there's a hard bargaining chip with there because I think he was Bond. James Bond. He's got 4 different, what do you need 4 different citizenships for? You're a Canadian citizen. You're doing shady deals anyway. Kind of like the Twitter files and shady deals. Everybody's doing shady deals. Shady deals. Okay? So, he's a spy. He had all these documents. He got busted with cash and a flash drive. Hard bargaining chip. I think they're working on it. I don't know why the Canadian government doesn't get on it. He is a Canadian citizen. Or the British government, or UK, he's a UK citizen, or even Ireland. No, I wouldn't know why Ireland is. What? Yeah, Andy asked me about the Twitter files. I've been looking at them. I've been looking at reports on them. The Twitter files is quite the phenomenon. Elon Musk, the new owner of Twitter, allegedly delivered just a drove of Twitter documents to right-wing independent journalists Matt Taibbi and Barry Weiss. While, Andy, the report did feature a couple concerning findings about the pre-Musk operations, the files are mostly saturated hyperbole. They're marred by omissions of content, and they're discredited by instances of outright deception in reporting. You talk about fake news. Well, read the Twitter files. At best, the Twitter files themselves, for the reasons that I stated, the Twitter files are best, understood as an egregious example of the very phenomena it purports to condemn on social media, and that is the managers levering their platforms for partisan ends. They all do it. We all know they do it. And we're surprised. You're surprised that Mark Zuckerberg, that pre-Elon and now Elon? Oh, come on. The Twitter files and Elon are loved by the far right now. That's it. I don't like Elon. I never have liked Elon. I've already said Elon. I don't like him because he's the son of Emerald, Ruby, I don't know what precious gems and metals, and a debauchery. Netscape didn't want him in 95. He was fired as CEO of Zip2 in 96. Fired at PayPal at 99. Tesla and SpaceX have already been restructured a couple times. Although Musk has never explicitly come out and said that he is autistic, he has admitted to having Asperger's syndrome. Just leave it there. What's the most disturbing thing of me and Elon? Well, not me and Elon, but what I don't like about Elon is not all of that, but his Neuralink. Neuralink, Andy? Is it Neuralink? Neuralink. The Neuralink project. It's been going on for a while. And if you're not aware of it, Elon has talked about it. He's embellished about it, and he wants it. And that is to implant brain chips in every human being. And that's why he started up Neuralink, to that end. Because, the chip in the brain will make us more productive. I won't have to do this with this with my mouse. I won't have to turn the cameras on. I won't need Nandy. We won't need lights. I could do it all from a chip in my brain. And he says everybody needs a chip to help us work us faster and more productive. Which is unreasonable, but, what the fuck, dude? He's not doing a good job at Twitter. Everybody's, he's doing wonderful. I was reading Twitter over brunch and all the stuff. People are leaving in drones. I said last week or a week before last, Andy, I have a tech guy in the tech business, told me there's nobody there. Everybody's quitting. Okay? It's running on a shoestring. Okay? We'll do a bankruptcy restructure here pretty soon. Okay? But the brain chips, Andy, the brain, insane in the brain, insane, I got no brain. You just, implanting brain chips, Neuralink, think about that concept. And while you're thinking about brain chips, that will make you more productive and a better human being, according to Elon Musk, let me tell you about Neuralink. The USDA Inspector General is investigating Neuralink at the request of the federal prosecutors over the Animal Welfare Act. Neuralink internal records that were seized show over 1,500 cats and dogs involved in Neuralink testing have died today. So, for that reason alone, Elon's a piece of crap. Just like everybody else that I've pointed out. I pointed out Mehmet Oz a couple weeks ago with his research facility that was killing beagles. And now Neuralink, Elon Musk. Well, they got to test those brain implants on something, don't they? Think about that. If it's not dogs and cats, it'll be chimps, and I believe, Andy, am I correct that there were chimps? Yep. So, Elon and Neuralink and dogs. Speaking of dogs, did you know that more dogs and cats are surrendered? Healthy surrenders between Thanksgiving and Christmas than the rest of the year combined. Do you know why that they get healthy returns, family returns, dogs that are only 5, 6 years old? Well, because it's Christmas and we need a new puppy. Puppy sales go up, returns go up. How the fuck do you explain to your kids that Bailey, the family dog who's been there 5 years, who sleeps with her, your daughter, is in the kill shelter because it's Christmas and you needed a new puppy? What kind of logic is that? And it's all the time. Abandonments are up. Everything, across the board. A dog, a cat, it's a 15-year commitment, beginning to end. If you can't do it, don't freaking get a dog for the holidays. Speaking of the holidays, I posted on Facebook, Andy, I'll do it again, the dangers of the holidays can bring to pets. Watch the tinsel, it's metal, and they eat it, cuts up their insides. So, again, it's that time of year. So, please think. And again, I want to know what you tell your kids. What do you tell your family when you know, Hank or Goober or Bailey or Sandy, the 7-year-old dog and kitty's gone because we're getting new ones? How do you justify that to your kid? Pets are disposable. Life is disposable. What a bad freaking parent you must be. Well, yeah, the NCAA playoffs, I didn't cover them last week. We didn't have time. Are here. I agree with the Georgia #1, Michigan #2. In the last 2 years, Georgia's 27-1, Michigan's 26-2. They're the best 2 teams in college football in the nation. So, TCU lost to USC, lost 3-4, lost. Logical that USC dropped it farther because they had 2 losses. Did you see Nick Saban during the Big Ten championship game during halftime? And begging to be, we could beat anybody in the country on the list because everybody's healthy now. Doesn't work like that, Nick. TCU's third, I could live with that. Ohio State, let me tell you this. If Ohio State would have gone to Michigan and beat Michigan as bad as we beat Ohio State at the Big House, Michigan wouldn't be in the conversation. Ohio State's in the conversation. I think Tennessee, I don't know. I think USC with a Heisman winner now could have beat Ohio State. So it'll be all solved in a couple of years. We're going to go to 12 teams. And then we will go into a, what is it, Andy, a 12-team playoff? Speaking of Putin, I spoke of him earlier with Brittney and Paul. Over the weekend, a couple things happened with Vladimir. It made news. Anyway, APC and the BBC News reported that last week at some time, Putin fell downstairs. He just is not, he soiled himself. He's unsteady on his feet. I guess he's having surgery of one kind or another, Andy, this week. I'm not doing it. Maybe Paul Whelan can do it. Also on the weekend, he came out and basically said that Russia could, should, and would develop a preemptive nuclear strike policy as America has in place and used in World War II. Okay, Putin said, look, you were losing the war, and it was going to, cost millions and millions of troops and dollars to win the war, so you dropped the nuke. And we're going to develop that policy also. He's sick. His own people, they're fighting a war of attrition. He's bombing hospitals and schools and animal shelters and apartment complexes. He's committing war crimes left and right. He's just not fighting war the way it's supposed to be fought. He's doing it like he did in Syria, and that is, it's a war of attrition. If I exterminate the population base, the government will have to surrender, which just gives us more and more concern. So, Andy, you're doing this. So with that in mind, I want to ask, hyperbole, how the hell did that get in here this morning? Who wrote, that's not even a word I would say. Everything else would say. But it got in here egregiously. Look at that. Look at me, talking with big words. So everything taken into consideration, and Andy giving me the high sign, I am going to take Michigan to win it all this year. I said they were good at the beginning of the year. I think that they will get through TCU. I think it's going to be a bigger game than people involved. You have 2 second-half teams. And I think that Georgia will get rid of Ohio State. They had one receiver already said he's not going to play. He's going to the pros. You can throw on him. You can run on him. I think Georgia's a better team. And then I think Georgia will beat Michigan. And I think Michigan rematch, they'll be mad. So, I got you. All right. Considering all of the showtime and Putin's egregious aggression into Ukraine, everybody's got to, that's right, duck and cover. Everybody continue to duck and cover. New York, you know your drill there too. You go inside, you get into a closet, and you stay there. Everybody else, duck and cover. It's the holidays. Spay and neuter those pets. Adopt. Don't shop. Don't surrender your 5-year-old dog because you're getting a new puppy. It's a 15-year commitment. Do it. Adopt a dog. Don't go get puppies. The pound is full of dogs. They're already trained. They already love. They already know stuff. Adopt, don't shop. Spay and neuter. Rescue, foster. Have a good week. Andy, this December 12th is snowy. Everybody drive safe. Everybody be safe. Andy, until next week, everybody, we are out of here.